most of you, or a lot of you, have heard this story, but I spent 12 years, roughly 12 years, on my own spiritual journey, getting my shit together, for lack of a better term. And I saw a Reiki practitioner on a Monday, and a hypnotherapist on a Tuesday, and a massage therapist on a Wednesday, and a homeopathic doctor on a Thursday to break free of all the antidepressants and all the psychotropic drugs I was on. And then I broke free of all that, and then a repressed memory of being sexually molested as a child came to the surface. And so that was why I was suffering from depression, because I didn't know that was there. And then I got involved in vibrational healing, and that's a whole story in and of itself. But I forget which level it was, but I took some time out after doing a lot of personal growth work, a lot of examination of my life, a lot of retrieval of my own spiritual power. And my field had all that new energy infused into it. And the best way that you can reorganize your body, mind, field complex with new spiritual energy, because that's what we're doing. We're clearing and clearing and clearing and clearing, and then the field needs to reorganize. And so the way I did it was I chose to hike the Appalachia Trail within the boundaries of the Smoky Mountains National Park. It's 82 miles side to side. And it took me a while to do that. It took me weeks to do that. And I was at Clingman's Dome, which is the highest part of the Smoky Mountains National Park. And it's also the highest part of the entire Appalachia Trail, from the northern part of the country all the way to the bottom. And so I was at Clingman's Dome, and I'm coming up on it. I know I'm getting close. I'm hoping for a break because the trail is really, really thin here. And on the left side is sheer rock. On the right side is a drop down into, the valley. And I can hear the birds chirping. I can hear the wind blowing. Every few minutes, the smoke, which the Smoky Mountains is named after, comes roaring in, and I can't see more than 3 or 4 feet in front of me. And then the smoke clears out, and I can see 20, 30 feet on the trail. And I was just constant like that for miles at that part of the trail. And so I came upon a part right before I got to Clingman's Dome of an opening. And it all of a sudden, this little crevice, this little flat patch of grass area was there. It's probably 3 feet by 6 feet, maybe 4 feet by 8 feet, something like that. It wasn't big, but it was big enough that I could come off the trail, take off my pack, and sit there. So I thought I'd take a break. So I pull a pack of cigarettes out of my pack. I always carry non-filtered American Spirit cigarettes with me when I hike like that. And it's not because I'm a smoker, because I am not a smoker. But what I do is I use the tobacco as prayer. And one of my mentors, his name is Rainbow Eagle, taught me many, many years ago how to pray, how to meditate while I walked upon the earth. He taught me a lot. He gave me so many gifts. I'm so grateful to him. And so I took a cigarette out of the pack, lit it, let it burn for a little bit, smelled the smoke. I love the smell of tobacco. To me, it's very spiritual. Again, because I'm not a smoker. I don't smoke cigarettes, and I don't take enjoyment in that part of it. I enjoy the smell of tobacco and the purity of what I know it's used for in the Native American tradition. So I let it burn down a little bit, and then I broke the cigarette loose, took the tobacco, spread it in my hand, and then prayed my prayer that my field would reorganize and I would remember who I am. And I blew that into the tobacco, and then I sprinkled it on the ground, right? And as that tobacco hit the ground, the sky parted, and I could see a part of the Smoky Mountains National Park I didn't know existed. There was a lake in the back part of the park. I've been going down there for many years. That's why I chose that part of the trail to hike. And I love Smoky Mountains. I think it's beautiful. I think it's a spiritual place. And so I saw this lake and I was amazed. It's like, oh my God, I did not know that existed. So right away, I had enlightened moment, you know. I didn't, and so later I researched that lake, found the name of it, traveled over to it and checked it out because it was beautiful. But anyway, I saw the lake, and then all of a sudden, everything went silent. I no longer heard the bears roar. I didn't hear the birds flap. I didn't hear the bees buzz. I didn't hear anything. And there was activity all around me, but I couldn't hear anything. And I heard the deepest, deepest, deepest silence I had ever experienced in my life. And I knew immediately, I could feel it resonate in my field. I could feel that that is the voice of the creator. Silence is the voice of the creator. God, Buddha, whatever. I mean, I'm not attaching names to it. All I know is that it was infinite energy, infinite supply at that moment, touched my field and reorganized it. That was my spiritual awakening. And I'll never forget it. Just sitting there talking about it, I just want to well up with tears of gratitude for that gift, for that day, for that little patch of grass, for that tobacco I spread on the grass, and for the silence that I heard from the creator. I knew I wasn't alone. And that's the moment I knew I am a spiritual being having a human experience. I'm not a human. I'm occupying a human body. I'm living in a human world. I have to follow human rules, but I'm really a spiritual being. And I know that in my bones. It's not intellectual. That point forward is no longer intellectual. It was not something I read in a book. It was something I experienced firsthand. And I've since had several other things like that happen that have confirmed that for me, on and on and on. But that was the retrieval of my spiritual power. And I had been working on it, going to workshops and seminars and remembering who I was and remembering what I did and forgiving myself for the mistakes I made. And I've done many a vision quest and many a sweat lodge, and they were all magnificent experiences, but nothing touched me the way that silence touched me. And it's possible for us all to have that. But tonight, what I want to do is kind of accelerate that process for each of you, because you're on your journey as well. And you may have had experiences like that, and you know what I'm talking about. Or you may not have had those experiences yet.